Hello everybody, I'm Stumpy and welcome back to more Metroid Other M. In the last video we started exploring Sector 1. We found a dead guy in a room, that was fun. We encountered a fluffy little rabbity bird thing called Little Birdie. I think I forgot to mention his name last time actually. But don't worry, we'll be seeing a lot more of him. And then eventually we found our way to the save room. Now, the game wants us to go in this direction, but unfortunately this door is shut and there's no way past it. It's completely locked, it's completely impervious to all of our weapons. However, if you have eyes, you will probably have noticed that there's a big old crack in this wall over here. And if we shoot it with a missile, we make that hole just a little bit bigger, and now we can use our morph ball to climb on through. So we will be heading in a bit of an alternative route to where the game actually wants us to go. But yeah, long corridor here, so let's run through. And as we get to this area with the glass windows, if we look out, we can actually see some enemies that we'll be facing a little bit later. This one's a bit closer. They look kind of like a combination of trees and giraffes, I guess. I think these are called Groganchers, something like that. All the enemies in this game have really weird names that I'm never entirely sure how to pronounce. But yeah, we'll be seeing more of these guys later. These particular two here can't actually hurt us, they just kind of stomp around. There's no actual way sort of out of this corridor into this particular area. But yeah, we will be facing those later, so I just figured I'd sort of take a look at them whilst they were there, you know. But for now, we're going to carry on down this corridor, and once we make it into this room, there's nothing actually in here, but if we head to the left, we find ourselves in the toilets again, and head on into the ladies, and stomp on over here to the far cubicle. We'll find something nice and shiny and yellow down here in this corner. This, once we pick it up, is an Accel Charge, and you can probably guess what this does. This lets us charge faster. So once I get out of here and I can actually shoot again, I will demonstrate, like so. Kaboom. To be honest, you're probably thinking the same thing as me. It's not a massive increase in charge speed. You probably can't even tell the difference that much. But we will be picking up a few more of these throughout the game, and once they all kind of stack up, the difference in charge speed becomes much more noticeable. So don't worry too much if you've just picked up one and thought, well, that was a bit shit. We're going to be picking up more, and by the end of the game, the difference in charge speed is definitely going to be noticeable. Anyway, now we are climbing up an elevator shaft. What fun. I seem to remember this causing me, and quite a lot of other people on the internet from what I remember reading, a bit of trouble when the game first came out. It's a bit of a weird section. Just going to kind of climb up to the top and get rid of these guys first. Once we get to the top, we will notice, or at least as high as we can go, that there is a sort of elevator above us, and it's stuck. And we can't really go any further. So, what we're supposed to do is blow up these bits that are kind of blocking it from falling any further, which seems kind of counterintuitive really, because why would you want to blow up the elevator while you're underneath it? But whatever. So anyway, we blow this up, and the elevator slowly starts to fall, but it's still a little bit stuck. However, it will fall eventually, and that's not our only problem, because this guy is now here. So, what I recommend you do is completely ignore him, just drop down a little bit to about here, and hop across to this gap, quickly turn around, look up, and blow up the other part that was holding up the elevator. That sends it crashing down below, crushing our new friend below it, and also allows us to continue climbing up to the top, where there is a way out. The biggest problem I had with that, if we go to the bottom, we can see that it's now just completely a mess down here. There's no way back the way we came. Look at that beautiful fire effect. So yeah, we've definitely got to go up now, which is fine, because that's where we're going anyway. But the biggest problem I had with that section is when the enemy appears, my kind of response was, oh, I should probably kill him. Like, you know, the music kicks in and everything, and you think, I should probably take this guy out. The problem is there's not really a lot of room at the bottom of the elevator to fight him, and it's kind of hard to fight him, like, sort of halfway up the elevator. So, like, it ends up taking a while, and if you take too long, the elevator itself will eventually fall without any input from you, and it will kill you and the chameleon enemy in one go, and then you're sent back to the save point. And it took me a long time to realise that fighting that guy was probably a bad idea. So yeah, just completely ignore him is my advice. Anyway, we picked up a couple of missile expansions whilst I've been yammering on about that elevator shaft, and once we make it into this room, we can look out this window and see that this is actually a room that we were in the last video. There's not really else to see here, but if we look to the right, we will notice that there is an energy pot in there. We can't get that quite yet, but we will be able to get closer to it in a second. From here, the only way to go is either back the way we came, or learn up this vent here. So, let's do that. And we can morph ball through. And now we're in some small, like, tunnels. I think it's like waste tunnels or something. We'll come up against these like big old cubes of rubbish that you can just blow up with your bombs. Simple enough. It's important to remember that this rubbish can be blown up. Oh, you're not a pile of rubbish. Well, you're a different kind of pile of rubbish. Did that kill him? It did not. Bombs. Okay, now he's dead. Ooh, sneaky devil. So yeah, just important to remember that you can blow these piles of rubbish up. There is another one. Whoop, there it is in the background here, sort of against the back wall. If we blow that one up and roll down this hole, if I can get down, there we go. We actually end up in this room again. And from here, we can see how we're supposed to get to the energy part that's all the way over there. That's the window we were looking through before. What we're supposed to do is swing across with the grapple beam. Unfortunately, because the grapple beam is just such a dangerous and deadly weapon that could cause so much damage to people in the environment, we're not allowed to use it yet, so we just kind of have to ignore that. Whoa, we'll roll down this slope, hop over that, oh, well, we'll just roll straight over that hole there, and there's a missile tank. It's very easy to come rolling down there and just end up straight in here, and fall down here, and miss the energy tank, although I think if you just kind of spam bombs there, yeah, it's easy enough to get back up, so it's not too much of a problem. Anyway, continuing onwards, and we end up in a rubbish room with all these spinny guys, which were kind of annoying. I'm just going to try and take all these out pretty quickly. I know these are enemies that are actually in Super Metroid and probably a few of the other games. I kind of forgot about them, to be perfectly honest. I don't know what they're called, that's kind of annoying. But I feel like they're more of a problem in this game because they're invincible at a certain point during their spin. But anyway, I took those out pretty quickly. So, piles of rubbish. Remember that we can blow these up, so if we just blow this pile up here with a bomb, and this reveals a tiny little hole that we can roll up through here, and the vent at the top, we'll blow that up, and that gets us another missile tank. So that's nice. I kind of miss the little jingle, the little get item jingle, you know, the thing that most of the other Metroid games do. I think the sound overall in this game is kind of a little disappointing, to be perfectly honest. Like, the music. Like, the sound effects are fine, but there's not really much, like, music, and certainly nothing memorable, apart from maybe one exception. Oh, Jesus Christ, that's a big old worm. Oh, that made me jump. What was I saying? The sound. Yeah, apart from, like, one obvious example later on in the game, which I'm not going to mention right now, but I'll definitely point it out when we get to it. Most of the music in this game is kind of forgettable. It's not necessarily bad, it's just, like, I don't know, it's not like, I couldn't, like, hum any of it to you, you know? Or, like, I probably wouldn't even recognise some of it if you played it to me. It's just like, whatever. It fits the situation, but it's just totally forgettable. Anyway, I'm just going to get rid of all these plants. I probably don't need to get rid of that one, to be fair. You're just going to stand there? How many shots are you going to take? Okay, that was weird. And that gives us a bit of breathing space when we try to get rid of this wall. They like to pop up underneath you when you're trying to shoot that wall and, like, start chomping on you. So I just like to try and get rid of them all first. Anyway, now we're in a big old tunnel, which was probably made by that worm guy. Eventually, it looks like a dead end, but you can blow this up with another missile and continue onwards. And then we get to another pipe with a pile of rubbish blocking it. So we'll blow that up, and we'll roll on in here. And we've got a bit of another tunnel to roll through. Just remember this is here, we'll be coming back here in a second. But first we need to do something down here. And now we're in the subterranean control room, and it's a big old empty square room with a locked door at the end, so that probably means it's going to be time to fight some enemies. I think there's two of them in here, although I'm not entirely sure where both of them are. Here's the other one, okay. So glad that locks on when even then they're invisible. So we're going to take these guys out. Okay, a couple of overblasts took care of you very quickly. You got closer. Where did you come from? You were right at the other end of the room. I guess it makes sense sneaking up on me while you're invisible. Okay, let's try and have a bit more fun with this one. We'll do a few more sense moves and stuff. Well, no we won't. Oh, well, hello. Teleporting about. Okay, let's just jump on him, take him out. That's fine. Okay, and that's opened the door. And now we can head on through here to a safe room. Excellent. Good. Okay, so we'll carry on into the next room, and in here we find some more enemies. These turret-like guys are here to stop us going any further. There's a little bit of confusion with what these are actually called. I've been looking around the internet, and a couple of different people seem to call them different things. They're either FG-1000 units or FG-2 Graham units, I think. I personally prefer to call them Graham units because, I don't know, for some reason just a couple of robots called Graham just kind of amuses me. Hello, I'm Graham. This is my brother Graham. So, yeah, anyway. What you're going to do is try and focus your blasts on them when they open up their front to shoot you. Otherwise, their preferred tactic is to just kind of fly at you and ram. They're a little bit awkward when there's two of them. So I would suggest just kind of sense moving about and trying to get charge shot on them, or if you can lock on with a missile, that kind of kills them in one. Oh, I probably could have taken you out there, actually. Once you get rid of the first one, the third one comes up. A third Graham appears. The Graham triplets. Whoa. So just keep focusing on sense moving. I'm generally not very good at this fight, to be honest. I usually find that one or two of them keep ramming me about while I'm trying to lock onto the other one. Probably... Wait, why did that not hit? That was odd. What? Why are my missiles not working? Okay, well that one I shot at the wrong time. That was strange. I swear I shot enough missiles to like kill them. They usually kill them in one missile, so I'm not really sure what happened there. Ow! Sense move failed, and again. Get out of my way. Oh, I wanted to lock onto that guy while he had his gun open, but the other one was going to ram me. It's so confusing, that's why these are horrible. I mean, they don't do a huge amount of damage, but they're just very irritating. And then when you switch to the first person view, this damn camera locks onto the wrong one. Okay. Right. No, that one. Okay, good. Now there's just one left. That should be much easier to get rid of one. Okay. I'm making a meal of this fight. I knew I would. I mean, I haven't taken much damage, but it's taking much longer than it should do. Come on, Graham. I'm going to kill you. There we go. That's the last Graham gone. Okay, and the final one, will drop a shiny sort of space fruit on the floor. This is... oh, details unknown. I didn't know it did that if you scanned it. That's interesting. So we'll pick this up. We'll pick up the shiny space fruit. And this gives us... hello? This gives us the diffusion beam. The diffusion beam is... basically kind of increases your blast radius of your charge shots, which is quite handy. I'll get a good chance to demonstrate this now. And all these flies. So if I let rip a charge shot, kaboom, and it just kind of explodes on impacts and really takes out anything. Oops, Jesus Christ, didn't realise you were going to do that. Takes out anything nearby, which is very nice. Oh Jesus, I'm making a meal of this. Why are these guys killing me? Okay, there we go. Nice diffusion beam shot. Take out a lot of them. I might just do some basic shots on these. There we go. Okay. So yeah, the diffusion beam is pretty handy, particularly when there's like big swarms of enemies around you like that. I don't know if it actually increases your like damage, but as I say, the blast radius will help you do more damage, like overall to more enemies. So that's always a nice thing. Anyway, let's just refill our missiles. Now we've got rid of those nests, we can actually use this computer. And if you look on the screen up there, you might see a familiar room. That's where we started the episode. And by pressing a few buttons on this computer, we turn the lights on and unlock that door. So, guess where we're going now? All the way back to that room. So, let's go. Excellent. Okay, and let's head back. Unfortunately, when we get into this room, shit happens. It's our worm friend, and he's brought one of his friends, so there's two of them, and we've got to take these guys out before we can go any further. These guys, to be honest, aren't too difficult from what I remember, although I'm just going to stand there and take that shot, apparently. Best thing to do is just kind of lock onto them with a missile when they stick their head out of the wall. And that should, there we go, make them fall out into the main room. They like to try and, again, they'll continue to shoot stuff at you. They like to try and chomp at you, but generally one charge shot will be enough to stun them, and then you can just run forward and get a lethal strike. And that takes one of them out straight away. The second one, if I remember rightly, the second one is generally a bit more dodgy than the first. I don't know whether he's going to appear. Hello? Where are you? Ah! Okay, how did he miss? I wasn't moving. That was odd. Okay, there we go. That's the second one down. Don't want him to eat me. Okay, there we go. Lethal strike, and unfortunately I'm standing right there, so I can just blast him in the face and take him out. Those do have names, but I can't remember what they are. All I really remember is it was something I wasn't totally sure how to pronounce, so I'll probably put the name on screen if I haven't already. They're not too difficult to take out, you just kind of dodge the shots, hit him with a missile, you've seen how it's done. So anyway, we'll head back to here, and this little hole thing in the floor is now activated, so if we roll on in and drop a bomb, woo-hoo-hoo-hoo, and it blasts us through God knows how many meters of endless tunnel, and eventually we'll fire out, whoa, back into this room, and oh god, the Dragotics thing is back. I'm actually going to fight this guy this time. Last time, well, normally I would say just run past him because you don't really need to fight him, but the first time we encountered him, he kind of got stuck in that elevator, so we didn't really get to see very much of him. So I'm just going to fight him a little bit just to make things a bit more interesting. He likes to ram you. That does a lot of damage, holy hell. That was crazy. Ugh. So yeah, the best thing to do is just keep shooting charge shots at him. You're aiming for the little green bit on his underside. That does a lot of damage. Okay. I might have to use... Oh, there we go. He's dead on that one. Okay. I was going to suggest using him... That I use a missile. Like, run away and use a missile from a distance. That seems to be quite effective from what I remember. But, yeah. Now that we've taken care of him, or we could have just run away. Either way works. We want to be heading back, basically, the way we went to where we started this episode. So... whoops, hello, I can't get up that hole. So, there's something else I want to show off before the end of this episode, and I could be taking quite a big risk here doing this. I need to find an enemy to knock me about a little bit before the end. Okay, here we go. One of these guys going to fall down? Can you guys over here, can you hit me a bit? Do some damage? Okay, here we go. Good, okay. I'm just going to run away so nothing can kill me. Okay, so when your energy is low, like now, you can go into concentration mode. It's a similar way, it's exactly the same thing to do when you're refilling your missiles. You put your Wii remote to the screen and hold the A button, and you concentrate, and it fills up one energy tank, so you can refill your energy a little bit. It's a weird system. And you've probably noticed that there's no like health pickups or ammo pickups or anything like that. It's all done through this weird concentration mode. I don't really know what I think of that. It's kind of strange. I don't know really to understand like the logic behind it. Like if you stand still when you've got barely any health and then focus, you can refill it or something. But you can only do it when you've got like not a lot of health left. It doesn't really make a lot of sense. It's weird. I kind of wish overall that they would have just gone with the whole, just, you know, enemies drop health items when you kill them and ammo refills and stuff like that, like pretty much any other game would have done. But whatever. Anyway, so we found our way back to this save point, and that's where we're going to end it. We're going to end the episode exactly where we started, back at this save station. So, thanks very much for watching, everybody. In the next video, we will head on through this door to where we're actually supposed to be going. So, thanks for watching, and I will see you next time for more Metroid Other M. Goodbye!